and good Thursday evening too. It is Weather for Weather Geeks time. It's the Valley's most in-depth weather forecast video, and today turned out to be a pretty busy day, especially this afternoon and early this evening. We've had some localized downpours, some localized flooding, and occasional thunder and lightning in spots as well. Let's start out with some rain gauges across the area. Classic hit or miss stuff today. A lot of places didn't have a drop. 0 in a lot of western Columbiana County, northern Mercer County, extreme northern Trumbull County, as of about 7 o'clock p.m. But here at our downtown Youngstown studios, we've had about an inch worth of rain, and 1 inch plus amounts, fairly common from about Youngstown on north towards the Trumbull County line, and also in extreme northwestern Mahoning, southwestern parts of Trumbull, out towards Lake Milton, Craig Beach, up to Newton Falls, 0.86 in a rain gauge there. But you look at a place like New Garden in Columbiana County, and a big goose egg for the rainfall totals. This is going to take a minute to load up, but this is a few hours worth of radar imagery from our area. We had something interesting for a brief time mid-afternoon today. A spotter reported in the National Weather Service that they did witness what we call a cold air funnel. A funnel cloud that does not form in the typical way. You think of a funnel cloud, you think of a supercell type of thunderstorm, a lot of wind shear, a lot of changing of the wind direction and speed with height. Cold air funnels tend to occur in the absence of strong wind shear. They tend to be really weak, but the difference in the air temperature between down here at the ground and upstairs in the atmosphere is great enough that you can get an updraft that can try to weakly rotate a little bit, a strong updraft. And if these cold air funnels end up touching the ground, they're oftentimes called a land spout, kind of a water spout that's on land, typically very weak, much weaker than a typical tornado, and typically cause minimal, if any, damage. Now, we didn't see any reports of this actually touching the ground, but this was from Youngstown over towards Hubbard. That report called into the Weather Service a few hours ago. Some loud claps of thunder here and there, and some very localized flooding problems. I saw one flooding photo from the Poland area just before 6 p.m. this evening. All right, so we are in the middle of a pretty active little streak of showers and storms here locally. Not much going on to our south and west, and here's our low that's been meandering across the Mississippi Valley for a couple of days. This is finally starting to make some progress to the north and northeast, and it's continuing to contribute, if you will, to the very muggy air mass that's in place. Dew points are still in the mid-60s, and it's October the 7th. How about that? All right, our overnight outlook as we go through the next several hours, we are expecting maybe a scattering of showers for the next handful of hours and into the overnight hours, but I kind of suspect raindrops will become less and less numerous as we head through the overnight, but still a passing shower or two will be possible. I suspect most of the area will be dry as Friday gets underway. All right, despite the warm start to October, the fall colors are, they're still happening. But I would say it's a little behind schedule in most spots. Now, maple trees and certain types of trees are certainly changing faster than others, as is typically the case. But in general, we still have pretty low color across eastern Ohio and western PA, the panhandle of West Virginia as well. Heading out a couple of hours to the east, north central PA near the New York line. Beautiful colors up there. Down the spine of the Appalachians into parts of West Virginia. Colors are really popping there. And of course, up in New England, it's about peak season now. Across northern New York, parts of Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine. Also peak colors right now in western parts of the UP of Michigan, northern Wisconsin, and the Arrowhead of Minnesota. All of this is somewhat typical, if not just a little bit behind. Even in places such as New England, this is a little bit behind schedule. Typically peak in some of those higher spots in northern New York, Vermont, Maine, New Hampshire. Typically peak is right about now or a few days ago. And they're just getting to peak right about now, or just about to hit peak in a couple of days. So it's just a little bit behind. And again, warm nights especially will slow down the foliage season. All right, we've had great weather for high school football so far this season. Tomorrow evening, I don't think it's going to rain everywhere, but there'll be some showers in the vicinity. Outside chance of lightning and thunder. I don't think there's much lightning and thunder. That would cause some delays and some issues. They'll play through just plain old rain, of course. And for the most part, this will just be annoying showers here and there for our Friday evening. Most of the morning and a good chunk of the afternoon will be dry. Rain chances will ramp up towards evening and into the overnight. Still some showers around. Now, by Saturday morning, we might see a band of showers set up near I-79, western PA. A lot of eastern Ohio might get away with a mostly dry morning. before showers try to fill back in for a time in the afternoon. And then we should dry things out for good by Saturday evening and a much nicer day coming our way on Sunday. All right, it's homecoming at YSU this weekend. The Penguin game day forecast, a 2 p.m. kickoff on Saturday against Missouri State. I think there'll be some showers around. Just like with high school football Friday evening, I can't rule out some lightning and thunder, but it's a small chance. Most of this will just be kind of annoying showers. Temperatures in the upper 60s and lower 70s, and it will be pretty muggy. So again, Sunday is easily the better half of the weekend. It'll be warmer. It'll be sunnier. It's still going to be kind of muggy, although not crazy humid, but by October standards, still pretty muggy on Sunday. Next week, we've got 80 in the forecast for, let's see, both Monday and Tuesday, and we'll be in the mid-70s through probably at least Wednesday, if not Thursday. There should be a cold front at the very end of next week that should take a bite out of the heat somewhat. But you look at the 8 to 14-day outlook, you don't see any cold coming to the eastern U.S. And so here's some raw model data off the European ensemble modeling. You can see that behind that late week front, and so we're talking about next weekend and into the following week, you don't see a lot of 70s being advertised necessarily at this point, but we should be at least within shouting distance of average, if not maybe a little above average, as we roll on through next weekend into the following week. So the 80s that we see during the upcoming week, chances are they're probably the last ones, although the pattern beyond that does not exactly look chilly. It just gets harder and harder, even in a warm pattern. It gets harder and harder to squeeze out an 80-degree temperature during the second half of October. All right, that'll do it for me tonight on Weather for Weather Geeks. Tomorrow is my WFMJ anniversary, 9 years here at 21 WFMJ. We've been doing Weather for Weather Geeks for about 8.5 of those 9 years. So thanks for tuning in tonight, and if you've been a long-time viewer of these detailed videos, thank you for sticking with me and checking them out, whether it be we're talking about snow or ice storms or severe weather or really boring weather. We try to find lots of interesting angles when it comes to the weather on this video. In the meantime, have a great rest of your Thursday night and enjoy your Friday as well.